Well, folks, like all great adventures in this world, this one starts with a challenge. This one from the Zabby Master, who states, "Hey, yeah, I know you're cheating on Pendragon with this already, but could you actual play some Mothership? There's little to no solo play online, only the module that goes underwater." Well, Zabby Master, who starts out with a friendly little "hey ya," and then hits me with an absolute crushing insult to my masculinity. Don't think that I don't know internet. If you put it through Internet Translator, basically what that comment said was, "You're not a real man." First of all, I'll have you know, Zabby, that I am loyal to Pendragon. Okay, and just because I'm playing some Forbidden Lands doesn't mean that Forbidden Lands is my side piece, and it doesn't mean that should I play some Mothership, that would have any reflection on my relationship with Pendragon either. Okay, Pendragon and I are exclusive. We have a prenup, 5 years, but we have an understanding, a don't ask, don't tell kind of thing, right? And there's no reason why Mothership can't be a part of that as well. And you know what? Your comment, though provocational and directly insulting as who I am as a man, father, and provider, all that aside, I have to admit that this beautiful deluxe box set given to me by my actual committed partner, BB, has not gotten the airtime that it deserves. We just did an unboxing. I mean, come on. This thing is gorgeous. And Zappy is kind of right. I will say that Geek Gamers has nice solo play of it, and I have done solo play of Thousand Empty Light, one of my faves by Alfred Valley, and Station Xeno. I did do a page through of this, which was originally actually made for Death in Space. But yes, I didn't play it, and to be honest, there is a notable lack of solo play for this game, and as I looked through it, I said, this is kind of a damn shame. There is not a what I would say quality solo guide to this, but that's never stopped us before. We have all of our solo tools at the ready. We have our Fate Mill, we have our Newell dice, and we got our wits. And we also have our Game Master's Apprentice sci-fi deck, which I have not used on camera yet. And this should be a nice, excellent resource for any sort of inputs that we need. But I just wanted to, it's been a while since I have really talked about, I don't know if I've ever talked about the Mothership gameplay. And that's also a shame because Mothership is actually the game that brought me back into tabletop role-playing after being a disaffected D&D youth. So I thought that I would give it some props, and hopefully some of what I say here spurs further solo experimentation with Mothership. So before I open this, I want to remind everybody that we do have until Christmas Day. Linked below in the description is my open submissions for the dumbest Oracle deck possible. I'm gathering those submissions on CryptPad. We're looking to get 52 of them so I can actually make the worst solo Oracle deck possible. I need your help. On my own, I'm only pretty dumb, but with all of our stupidity combined, we're extremely dumb. And so what I'm hoping is to have a solo deck that gives you the worst Oracle inputs possible, right? Like, for instance, you're playing Mothership and you say, I'm stuck in some dark reaches of the basement of a space station. There's some sort of xenomorph ripoff running after me. What should I do? I want to be able to pull a card from that Oracle deck and have it say, your father always thought that you should have played softball professionally. right? That's the kind of stupid Oracle inputs that I'm looking for. And it's not for nothing, right? Even though I eventually will sell the deck, reap tens, hundreds of millions of dollars of profit off of it. For contributing, we have a first and second prize. So the first prize is the Mothership Core Set, which has never been used by me. And this is an awesome core set. It almost has everything that the Deluxe set has. It's got a few. The box, I suppose, lacking a little doodads. There's not two sets of D10 dice, but who doesn't have a bunch of D10s? Other than that, everything in this box is pretty much untouched. We have all of the standees for several different players, the tokens. There's even a mini game master screen, which is super cute. And it has there's one that's probably double the height of this in the Deluxe set, and it's a really good GM screen, but this one is really good as well. And honestly, pretty much everything you need here to get going. And it has several modules. Again, the Deluxe set has a few more, but this one is not too shabby here. We have another bug hunt, and we have the Player's Survival Guide, the Warden's Operation Manual, the Shipbreaker's Toolkit, and Unconfirmed Combat Reports, as well as a map that is honestly... the one that's in the Deluxe set is a little too big. This one is actually a lot more useful here. And contains ship layouts as well as tools for space combat. And so all of this can be yours if you are judged by myself, BB, Mr. 55, and a secret guest panelist to be the top stupid Oracle submitter. And because we're too generous and we have too much Christmas spirit on this channel, for second place, I also have an original Mothership. This is signed by me. I was showing a sample signature and I actually wrote it. So it says, "Congrats, Doug," but I can cross that out, and then whatever your name is, I can sign that there. Now, it is a 0E, but inside a 0 edition. It's on first edition. So this was the one that was like one of the first ones that I used, and it's in excellent shape. But inside, it has the conversion kit to first edition, and that will be to whoever comes in second place. So, and of course, with each of these, I'll throw in some goodies or something like that. The rules for that are on the link below. Just so you know, as always, if you're an international participant, we'll have to modify, get you something like a digital gift card or something like that. But anyways, please submit those before Christmas. I've already got about 40 submissions, and they are absolutely hilarious. Sometimes when I'm feeling blue, I just take a look at those and feel a whole lot better. I want to add that Tuesday Night Games, that publishes Mothership, has probably one of the most incredible digital support loadouts of possible. So first of all, on their website, where you can shop Mothership, I want to see what the core set value is here, just to see how generous I am. Look at that, a $60 value. Look at that. I think I'm pretty generous. I could have sold that, but I didn't, because I want to encourage creativity, especially among the youth. So yes, you can purchase all of that stuff, but if you go to if you go to Learn to Play, there is an incredible course. Now this is the Warden educational system. Warden would be the GM, but I think anybody, you can go through this and let's see. And it has these...
Introducing Wes, Hello, Warden.
Yeah. So Warden educational support, and you scroll through this, and it's not looking great because it's not like full screen, but it has on the left side of the screen, like if you have a mind-numbing job that makes you do online learning, and it kind of has like that completion thing to the left that'll show you how far you go, and it goes over everything. It goes over like not only the background of it and the story, and if you're really at a remedial place, like what is an RPG. It goes through how to make your character. It has little quiz points like this, which are really helpful. Let's see. You're rolling a strength stat of 5 and 7. What's your strength? Well, when you're rolling your stats, it's 2d12, 2d10 plus 25, so it'd be 37. Did I get it? There I go. Got it. Show you how to roll saves, everything. And then also the actual character sheet, I think, is one of the coolest in that. Now, there is like a basic one that you can, it has like just the facts, sir, ma'am. But there's also, and this is from 0E, I'm not sure if it still looks like this, but it has like lots of instructions, and it shows the progression of skills and like a skill tree, and like if you have this skill, what can you then what skills will you have available to you. So really cool. But I think one of the shining stars, and this is very rare that I like something like this, is the companion app that is for the iPhone or Android. And in fact, I was able to, and I don't really know why, it's suddenly like letting me open up my iPhone stuff on my computer. I think because there's like a new thing with Macs that you can reflect. I don't really know, but their companion app is outstanding, and it's actually it's like even better than when I first started. So I rolled up this character as an example. I absolutely cannot stand looking at this like I have been looking at this for an hour as I've been like preparing for the video. I just really want to roll up a new character. I don't know why I haven't, but so from here you can go to the Learn to Play by Mothership, and then there's several upgrades. I have 2 out of 3 of them. I have the one to build a ship and to like import export characters, unlimited characters, contractors. The one thing I didn't get is the virtual tabletop, which has like map editor and being able to play online sessions, but it's kind of like a proprietary thing, and it's only $15, which is a pretty good deal all told. And this right here, once you have your character stats, you can just roll right right there, whatever it is, and it will reflect your actual stats. So you can even roll with advantage, which I know, like, you know, Roll20 and stuff has this, but I just think it's just really well made, really clean. You can make an online session there. If you get the virtual tabletop thing, you can do that there. I'm not sure what the difference is actually from, like, maybe you can't do it, but I can do a pre-gen ship. So I can do the executive transport, maybe the Sato G5 Grail, and there I go. I got all the ships. I have the different modules, the deck plan. Anything I click on, it comes up. But what I'm really looking forward to is giving myself a new character. Now, I could export Zenobia. I can't. Yes, you are deleted. And then when we create a character, we can create a custom character, or we can randomize a character, or you can just roll for it and go through each of the steps. And you have the 4 archetypes: Marine, Android, Teamster, Scientist. It really doesn't matter. Oh, they get a +5. Well, it's going to be an intellect. Yeah. But I will say, when I was playing, I can't remember which one it was, but I found one of these to be just a way better choice, which I think was Android. But the thing about that is, when you have an Android in your party, it makes everyone else feel uneasy, and so they all like roll worse when there's an Android around. And then in terms of health, you're always going to start with 2 wounds. Whenever your health goes to 0, you gain 1 wound. And then you have stress that you're going to have to deal with. You have a different trauma response for everybody. And we can choose skills here. So trained skills mean that you are competent. Expert skills means the equivalent of like you have a college degree in it. And then master skills would be like you are one of the foremost experts in your field. And you have to like, as you could see here, I'm not sure if you could see this, but as you click any of these, it will then open up other ones because you have to follow a specific path. Like in order to get mysticism, you have to do art. In order to, so you can only have 2 trained skills. So mathematics would open up physics for me, etc. And so I'm just making a scientist here. So let's see. You know what? I'm going to do theology. Why not? Scientist who is theologian and linguistics. And I'm going to claim that I have some sort of like what's that language in Warhammer that if you speak it, you could just like explode people? Enuncia. So yeah, I have mastered Enuncia, and did I not select it? Do I get more? Mysticism. No, I don't get more than that, right? Do I get another? All right, 2 trained. You must have, okay. I did it. Confirm. Oh, okay. Hold on. Note class skills and choose bonus skills. Take a master or expert skill. You must first take 1 master skill and an expert and trained skill prerequisite. Okay. 1 master. One master skill and an expert and trained skill okay. I see. So I have to undo these, and then my expert skill, sophontology. Soph I thought means like fool. Sophon might be different though. Let's do Xeno. Okay, so I need mysticism, and in order to get mysticism, I need, theology, mysticism, xeno-esotericism. Come on, I get 1 more trained skill. So this is what I had before though. Good. All right, and then you get a trinket. Oh no, I don't want a towel. No. Oh, I love a nice parka. Yeah, okay. No, that is kind of funny. Like a guy who studied xeno-esotericism. It's like, listen, no BS, okay? Let's do a random loadout. Utility knife, crew attire, cybernetic diagnostic scanner, and duct tape. And that looks like a cyborg to me. Yeah, that guy looks like somebody who still listens to Bon Jovi. Isaiah Mancia, and there we go, complete character. Great. So now I have this character. I can probably add some contractors for solo play, and we'll have to figure that out, what we're going to do about that. But let's go to the primary sources here first to see what we're working with. Now, again, the Deluxe set is mostly the big advantage over the core set is that the Deluxe set is gorgeous. It has slightly, like I said, this thing, I guess it's the same, but it's just, I guess, has more coloring. And in fact, there might be 2 or something more of these, but that's really it. Like, I think it's the same amount of these. So let's actually pull out these tokens right now, because I want to use the little storage bins that come inside this thing. And got a nice big, this is probably for one of the supplements, another bug hunt. We have 3, maybe 4 ships. Yeah, so each of these are double-sided. And let's take a look here. Very cool. Here, take a look with me, please. So that would be one side. Okay. Yeah, so some, I guess the characters are just like the other side of that character. Yeah. But it has little stands as well that we'll put these in once we figure out who looks like my dude the most. I'm going to put these off to the side. And then we have the GM screen, which is a true delight here. One of the best GM screens. Oh, sorry, I didn't. There we go. One of the best GM screens we have. I mean, this is an amazing GM screen. Like, everybody who's making GM screens, please just look at this and understand that this is what I want. I don't need it to be organized with I need you to smash. I want you to be like, if you've ever had a class where they're like, you only get one index card to put notes on. That's how much I want on here. Wounds, medical treatment, survival, damage, death, tactical considerations, range, armor, cover, quick stats, panic, stats, saves, contractors, pay, failure, leads, puzzle components, which I think is one of the most interesting ones, where you roll. This will be good for solo play too. You can like roll up different things that will stand, as barriers, hindrances, obstacles, contract work, price tiers, mega damage. That must be for the ship. Yep. Ship class, distress signals. This is all for ship. And then this can roll up different settlement locales, who is controlling it, bankruptcy. So this is an awesome GM screen right there. We'll put that to the side. We might actually use that. And then the box itself is kind of the one of the real treats of this. I think this is just like to space it out, but containment A1. This comes in everything here. So this is for the app, actually, if you wanted to pause and take a look at that. There you go. And yeah, this box is... All right, so now some of these, I think, yeah, like in Carmine, I added myself. Thousand Empty Light, I added myself. But otherwise, these are... I'm pretty sure all of these are the ones that you are getting in this set. And I just wanted to... I arranged them just to talk about in terms of usefulness, okay? So obviously, the GM Guide or Warden's Operation Manual is going to be useful for solo play. Player's Guide will be useful. Shipbreaker's Toolkit. Unconfirmed Contact Reports is a really weird one for me. I like it, but I was confused when I first got it because it just doesn't seem like... It's like presented as one of the core documents, and it's cool. It's a bestiary. It's got a lot of different artists' art in it. But some of this stuff is like conceptual things that I wouldn't use in play. Like, there is a character in here. Like, look at this. The engineer. There's one called like The Good, and it's like The Good has infinity HP. It's like, okay, well, because especially because these are, arranged by number, I want to be able to use these in a way that is helpful. Now, there are ones that are really cool in here, and I mean, just in terms of creation, I think it how did I hear it described? It's sort of like a futuristic cassette tape feel. It's like future punk, but so this is like all 53 of them in here. I suppose you could roll on that. This is really the benefit for solo play, is just rolling up like these quick encounters. Really, this back piece of this is the best one. Resonant, very interesting supplement, but not great for solo play, in my opinion. You might borrow some things like rumors, but it's very much sequenced, right? Like, this is a specific place, and we got colonist generator, could be good, but like a lot of Mothership supplements, you're exploring a space, and it may not be linear, but there's like a beginning and an end to it. Same thing with gradient descent, which I don't know. I find it very overwhelming. Now, I talked about on a GM screen, I want everything smashed together. But for this, just reading this, I feel extremely overwhelmed, especially as you get into it and you get to each of the levels of the gradient descent. This could be good for like rolling up different biomes if I'm walking through a ship. Might be a little too high of specificity for full usefulness as a solo supplement. One thing that is kind of cool is that the GM knowledge is in red. So it's really easy to know like what you're supposed to be telling your players from a GM perspective and what you're just supposed to know. But this is, I think, something that as a solo player, I would read it and I would consider it, but I wouldn't necessarily like try to play it in order or something. Again, the last 2 pages here are D100 artifacts and random search outcomes. That can be very helpful. Another bug hunt and a pound of flesh were the like first some of the first supplements for Mothership. They're really good to play through. Very early when Mothership came out, and it was like then I guess early COVID, everyone's looking to play Mothership. I can't tell you how many times I like played through these two pretending that I had never played through them before. I hate to admit it. Cybernetic mutations. This one is actually really good. This is a very good, it's a D100 separated by a D10 on top, and it just has tons of locations: slaughter yard, upscale housing, med bay. So anytime you're exploring a settlement or a space station, I would say that these, anything that is in the after Caliban's heart is the most useful parts of Pound of Flesh. Pound of Flesh, I would actually say, is out of these first two, probably the most useful in terms of generating NPCs and just seeing how the world works. Has a nice like shop component to it. Dead Planet, I would say, is the best one for solo play and probably the one we're going to use the most. And I'll show you the thing that is the best thing in here is this awesome way to map derelict ships. Is you roll the dice and then you form them into a shape, and that is like the space station. And so you'll roll all the dice, and so we can actually do this right here. Use the wood one so that it's uniform, even though that feels very non-Mothership. All right, so I would roll, and then I'm going to place these in some sort of meaningful sequence here. So we can say like that. We'll make one A1, just get a little. And then as I travel through these, right, I would start here, let's say on the 6, then I would re-roll a 1d10, and where did my 1d10 go? Why am I always... Oh, yeah, I brought my Mothership dice right here. So then we'd have a 1d10, and you would look at 6, and then 5, and that would be engines. 1d5 squatters in vac suits huddling around the warmth of the engines. And so it's a really cool way to just like in every room have something different. This is all malfunctions for the jump drive. This is weapon and supply caches. This is a timeline of events. Could use that to inform a little bit of a dig. This is more specific to the mission, but then back here we have tons of names, quirks, things that you can find inside the vault if you search them. This right here is, wow, what an interesting one. Okay, so this this is a nightmarish sculpture table. So let's take a look. 4 disassembled firearms that evoke 6 rapturous, 6 paranoia. And the subject is sliced teeth, 3, and serrated, what is that, a 7? Scales. So, yeah, the compulsive, nightmarish, and then these are literally 100 nightmares that you can have, which I think would be a cool way to kick off, like your character wakes from a nightmare, and you use that as the thematic basis for an entire solo campaign. In fact, I might do that right now. I have my character wake after this. We'll use the dyadic D20s, and we'll do solids or 10s. All right. So this one would be... I always get confused with... Yeah, I guess it'd be 6. You swim frantically, uncertain of which direction you are heading. The water is like ink, and your lungs are bursting. I like that. That's a good way to start things off. But yeah, I think overall, these two right here. There's also a nice bestiary in the back here. I think Pound of Flesh and Dead Planet stand up as great ones that we can put to good use. And then, of course, in terms of Thousand Empty Light, you'll know this is one of my favorite solo supplements of all time. I think my YouTube bio, there is a link to, I actually did a voiceover narration for this. It's on Alfred's itch.io page. If you want to check that out, you can do that as you're playing through it. I narrated each scene. But the real thing that I'm going to keep on here is the combined semiotic standard. And when we can, we will use this to as an oracle, because I think that it's genius. It's very evocative, and per square, there's so much information. Now, this is a, how would we do this here? This is a D50 maybe. So would we do a D100, and then how would we get, trying to think of what's the best way to roll this so that we can get 1 and 50. All right, so we'll do, so that would be 99. So, I guess you could do a D100 and then, what was I saying about the, we'll make, that's why I was confused. Okay, we'll make black 10s. No, black is 1s, red is 10s, because black comes before and red comes right after. That's how I remember it. I know it makes no sense. So 31, and we could just like divide it by 2, I guess, if it's over 50. So 31 here is yes, but, and you got to get pretty close to see this here. Let me get my Pendragon bookmark, my favorite thing to do my Geek Gamers pointing with. So you could see along the edge here, it says yes, but, and then inside it says biological hazard, spoilage, and transference. And so not only do you have those words, not only do you have that oracle response, you also have this picture here, which you can sort of free associate however you would like. So we will keep the semiotic standard on hand. And my phone is ringing. That's never happened while I was on the phone. Let's see here. And then we also have in Carmine, which BB got me, a very good supplement that we could maybe use for a map. It has a weather and random encounter. So if we do have any overland travel, we can use that. And that's a interesting setup. The whole book is in red. It's a dusty, distant, unremarkable planet with no recorded human habitation. It is merely another speck on the infinite canvas of space. But those who know what Carmine truly is would tell you a different story. And so I'll put a little bookmark here just so that we know if we need to do any overland travel or weather on a planet, we could use that. But I think the primary ones that we're going to use here are going to be the Warden's Operation, the Player's Guide, the Shipbreaker's Toolkit, and then the rest of these we can keep inside the vault. We have our standees, we have some dice, and the rest we can put in storage. So let me readjust here and reset everything up. Okay, so I always want to do this setup on this channel where I like put a GM screen here, but it feels so claustrophobic. I don't have all my toys. So let me know what you think about this. Does it look as ugly to you as it does to me? Because the other choice that I have is like posting this up somewhere, but it's just nice to have this all in front of me. It just, I don't know, it feels a bit limiting. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is let's take a look at Isaiah and see which, if any, of these look like Isaiah. I'm gonna say so far no. I'm just getting a better view here. Okay. Maybe when out in space. No. No. I wish. No. Maybe. No. 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 Maybe. Perhaps. Oh, this has to be it. Yeah, that's a good pick right there. No. No. No, but we can keep those out just in case we want some contractors or something. So I would say, I mean, none of them are obviously a perfect match, but let's see here. We have these choices here. I'm going to go maybe but yeah, maybe this is, I like this. This is Isaiah. So we'll put these off to the side and we can use them should we need to. But I'll just make some standees. I'll make some standees out of you. All right, so we got that. And then just in case we get any contractors. Now, I'm not certain, but I'm thinking we're going to need some contractors to go with us if we are investigating a space station. And maybe they can just be sort of like red shirts to start, and I don't have to characterize them too much. But we should also probably bring up a starting ship here. Here is the dice that we're going to be using. And let's see. So let's think about the order of operations here. We have Isaiah, who is, their weapon right now is a scalpel. And maybe we get a contractor. So let's see. Isaiah is a scientist, and so probably wants a marine grunt to come with, and a teamster, someone who's just kind of like, oh, well, we're just going to ignore that. 3.5 kilocredits. I don't have that, but that's okay. So we have Naleli Frederick. See how nice this app is, and Karen Albright. And so we can, since they have names, we'll do Naleli is what? What is Naleli? Is a marine grunt. Looks good. And Karen Albright is a Teamster. That looks about right. So we'll do these two here. Okay. And let's also roll up a ship so that we have a starting ship. Now, I could just use the app, but I'm curious to take a look at the Shipbreakers toolkit. If we end up using the app, we end up using the app. That's fine. But it's always best to, know what's under the hood here. So, okay. So these are the different deck plan icons. And this would be the actual form fillable sheet, which we'll be able to do that on the companion app, but these are all available on the Mothership website. Ships can make stat checks just like a character. However, whenever a ship fails a stat check, everyone on board gains 1 stress. As with all stat checks, a roll of 90 to 99 is always a failure. So we're doing a roll under D100 percentile with the one modification in Mothership that 99's the highest that you go. So 22, good. If I was, trying to roll under for stress, checks and saves are the same. I will say one thing that's a little bit confusing is that there is a sanity save and a fear save. And sanity is like the eldritch horror ability to intellectually integrate experiences that are beyond the border of what is intellectually integratable. Whereas fear is an emotional reaction. Are you able to keep your cool? And then a body save is like resistance to viruses, techno-organic viruses, hunger, anything that endures stress. So since we're just starting out, we should probably not have a very good ship. A ship's class is a general measure of its capabilities. This book covers a handful of ships rated class 0 to class 5. The higher a ship's class, the larger, more powerful it is. Ship class is often abbreviated with its jump rating. For example, J1C2 refers to a jump 1 class 2 ship. Just like your character stats and saves, a ship's stat check can be modified by advantage and disadvantage. Advantage and disadvantage is the way that that's done is you roll 2 and then whatever is like the better roll you would keep for advantage. Disadvantage, the worst roll. Whenever a ship critically fails a stat check, everyone aboard must make a panic check. Okay. The drop ship is standard planetary insertion, so we're probably not going to use a drop ship. Raider, a cheap vessel, barely more than an orbital HAB unit. The Raider is the ultimate choice for cash-strapped firms and anyone looking to fly below the radar. Its modularity makes it incredibly popular with criminals, pirates, and bounty hunters. Orbital command, a drop ship attached to a Raider's nose, can serve as the ship's command module. I just want to make sure it can hold 3 people. Okay, so the coffin landers have a carrying capacity of 4. A freighter, I think that the Raider is probably the one that makes the most sense. For whatever reason, I'm getting the sense that the scientist, Isaiah, my scientist, is somebody who has a belief or a theory about things that has shunned them from the scientific community. And maybe they've lost whatever credentialing, and now he's going about whatever means necessary to complete his research, and so probably engaging in illegal travel, not authorized to research these different places, and was able to get a Raider to do this with. So the deck plan, we have an airlock, life support, habitat deck, 4 small circular decks traversed via ladderway. Nose port can be docked to any class 0 vessel. Cryo chamber with 8 cryopods. This is more than enough. 6 fuel tanks. I'm seeing. Yeah, I don't think that a dropship will quite be enough, but no, that actually wouldn't be enough. This isn't even this is more like extra vehicles, personnel carrier. Coffin landers. The single-use land and launch module, or coffin lander, is an emergency feature of most spacecraft. Planetary landing pod has a single-use launcher which can launch the command module back into orbit, but otherwise has no navigation capabilities. It fits the standard 20-foot shipping container and is an absolute last resort for the crew. And then it has an unshielded external reactor, level 2 acute radiation. The reactor on a Raider has no interior cabin and must be accessed by a EVA, also known as a spacewalk. Okay. So, oh, we have executive transport. Gambling ship, too big. It's too big. Patrol craft, salvage cutter, corvette, jump liner, troop ship, exploration vessel. The exploration is an ideal first wave colony ship, has enough space to carry building materials, terraformers, 200 people. No. We have upgrades, minor and major, weapons, class 0 vessels. Class 0 vessels are spacecrafts designed to travel short distances between ships or between a ship and a planet's surface. So my ship has a coffin lander on it. And then space travel. Most larger spaceships are not equipped for atmospheric entry and thus must rely on shuttles, dropships, or reentry vehicles. You don't need to own a ship to get across the galaxy, but you need to pay your way either in credits or equivalent trade. Interplanetary trips can take anywhere from a few weeks to reach a nearby planet. So, class 1 fuel. This would be a J1C1. Is 1 kilocredit. It has an auto cannon. Oh, these I see. And then these are resupplying weapons, interstellar travel. We can take a look at this to see if we're going to have interstellar travel, range bands. Okay. Oh, okay. So these range bands were like that poster. They show the different ranges for detection. So this whole thing is like a guide for that. Cool. So this is a nice thing to have, is just like the reference on the wall if you're playing in a group to see if you are in range to fire, to be detected, and then mega damage rolled up on there as well. Distress signals, hailing, and maintenance issues we can roll up right here. Every ship starts with a little wear and tear. When you acquire a ship, roll 1d5 plus 1 repairs from the maintenance issue tables. All right. 3. Since 1d5, it would be 1.52 plus 1, 3. Okay. Faulty electrical system. So it has an electrical system that flickers in and out. I'm going to have to pay my own. I bet you that this is what the ship tracking sheet looks like. I bet you that I promised payment to a bunch of, to the Teamster and the Marine that I have, and I bet you that I don't have the money to pay them. Okay. So let's take a look at our situation here. Oh, and my ship, I think, let's see. Find the one that looks most like the Raider. There might actually be a Raider on here, so whenever you see me doing this, I'm just futzing with the camera. No, that's a Corvette. No, that's a satellite. That could, yeah, that's the right thing. Yeah, there we go. That's it. Great. All right, that's my ship. I'm still a little bit confused about, I guess I can't say I'm confused. I put in no effort at understanding this, like what these chips are for, because I've played Mothership. What could this be? 1, 2, 3, 4, C? Would this be the ship class? I don't know. We'll see. All right. So let's now bring up let's try to build the ship within the app. And you should check this out. If you're watching this right now, you should go to Motherships, um, the TuesdayNightGames.com or the Mothership site. Just Google it and check this out, because it's got so many good tools. It's going to really wet your whistle. I'm telling you. All right. So I believe that we have the access here to create a ship. Yes. Transponder. Oh, you could set your transponder on or off. Very cool. So I definitely would have that off. Ship select. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Can I, Mom? Let's try this. There we go. All right, so let's select a ship. And let's delete the old and in with the new. So we will do the captain will be however I spell my name, whatever. Isaiah, whatever the last name was. Am I not able to, like, I bet you, actually, yeah, I bet I'll do a pre-gen and then I can customize it. There we go. So this would be a raider, and what is my name? Isaiah Mancia, that's right. Okay. S5, J1, C1, 20 thrusters, 5 battle, 3 systems. I could do the stat checks all from here. Great. Fuel 12, warp core 0. O2, I'd have to figure out O2. Let me look that up really quick. I mean, I know what O2 is. I'm just saying how I track it. Okay, I had to do a little bit of cross-referencing here, but basically I think that the oxygen is only going to come into effect if the life support system goes out. It's not actually in the Shipbreaker's toolkit, or it says to reference this page in the player's survival guide. It says, in space, you could last 15 seconds without oxygen before falling unconscious. After passing out, you could survive 1d5 minutes before dying. If all of a ship's life support system goes offline, roll 1d10 and multiply it by the maximum crew capacity. So we would say, okay, wow, that's a crap. Roll to, damn. Okay, 5 times 10, 50. And so it would say, subtract the total number of breathing crew members from the remaining oxygen supply. So since I have 4 crew members, well, actually 3, because one of them I added an android with the randomized name Zula Booth. So maybe it's just like an android booth. So it'd be 3 minus 50 every 24 hours. And then it would go down to 47, etc., until I was able to get life support back online or restore the oxygen otherwise. If there's any strenuous activity, 2 more oxygen supply each. When the O2 is less than twice the amount of breathing passengers, all rolls are at disadvantage because they have headaches, fatigue, anxiety, clumsiness. Whenever the oxygen supply is less than the total amount of breathing passengers, they have to make a body save or else a death save as they suffer panting, dizziness, severe exhaustion. And once it runs out, you have 15 seconds before you fall unconscious, and you could survive 1d5 minutes before dying. Androids do not consume oxygen. Those in cryosleep do not reduce the oxygen supply. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. Like I said, I did add an android. So my crew is 4 out of a max 8. The O2, you know, I mean, we'll re-roll it if that comes up. But we have no warp cores, so we can't do any... we can't do any jumps right now, but I like this. So right up front, we have the nose port. That's for docking. Right here we have the hab decks. This is so cool how this works. I mean, this is great. Even if you were to draw this out, it still looks great. Then we have life support right in the middle, airlock, cryo chamber. That's interesting. I have to go through the airlock. That's like when I lived in that house where people had to, I was like 20. I lived in some crappy house that people had to go through my bedroom to go to the bathroom every day. It's the only bathroom. Fuel tanks, and then the back is the unshielded external reactor, which we would have to do like a spacewalk in order to figure that out. Now, with the faulty electrical system, I'm not sure what the effect with that would be just yet, but I'm thinking it'd be something like at a certain interval I roll, and if I hit a certain, it's a minor repair, so I would put pretty big odds on it, but I would say maybe once every day of travel I roll, and if I don't hit, if I don't roll under, then we can say that I have an electrical system that I need to spend some time to repair. As far as what that could be, I guess it could be a systems check. That's pretty tough because that's a 50% chance that it would go out. I'll think on that. I'll think on that. So right now, I'll just tell, in case this isn't obvious. Right now, I am doing the thing where I am trying to figure out what works and what doesn't for solo play. Ultimately, the only thing that's going to work at a certain point is trying it. So I can try to adjust stats and like optimize them and see how many crew members I should have or how many contractors. There's lots of variables here, right? I don't know yet how I got this ship. I don't know if these contractors, like I assume I'll have to pay them every month. I know that there's a salary. I think it's 1 kilocredit a month, but I'm trying not to get too bogged down in those things because I kind of want to move this forward, see where the gaps are and everything, right? So the only thing we have about the story right now is that I'm in an unidentified vessel. It is a J1C1 Raider S5 model, and it has a faulty electric system. On board is Isaiah Mancia, who is me, or my character, my player character, and Isaiah has been disbarred, or whatever the equivalent, I don't think there's a bar for scientists, from the field, and has this fascination with xenoesoterica, has a mystical belief, a belief that there is some sort of artifact somewhere that, if found, will be able to give information about the sort of animating spirit of electronics, and that electronics and electronic impulses are alive in every way. We just don't understand them correctly because our math is too limited, and I've been laughed out of the room for this. And so I have secured a vessel and a crew, and we don't really know why. And I have Zula Booth, who is an android that seems to be agrees with everything I say, which the other contractors are a bit suspicious of. I wish there was a planet name generator. That might be kind of cool. But I think what we want to say is that I know that there is a derelict vessel that is surrounding a planet. I'm trying to think of a name for a planet, but I'm curious if I'll be able to find something that can randomize a planet name. I really like that. So let me just look at these resources here to see if I could find anything that's a planet generator. Okay, well, I didn't find a planet name generator, but as usual along the way, I found so much better stuff. So we can just use the Game Master's Apprentice sci-fi deck here to, it has names on them. For the fantasy deck or the basic deck, it was human names. But we could probably easily find one that goes well for a planet. That's a good one. We will say that the orbiting, I had received intel that orbiting around the planet Resnick, if you look right here where my thumb is, the third one down, the planet Resnick, that there is an abandoned space station. And every time that the crew, at any time that people searched for it, they would go missing. And the reports would say that there was nothing. There was a strange power signature pulsating from it, and they came to the determination, the people who are, I don't know, whatever federation is in charge of sort of salvaging ships in this area outside Resnick, that it really wasn't worth it. From the manifesto, it was some research vessel, and so there was really nothing of value. And because people went missing, they assumed that there was some sort of virus there or something like that. And probably the best thing would just be to just mark it as a place they don't go, leave it floating, and hopefully one day an asteroid would come and just blow it apart. So inside the back of a pound of flesh, we have a way of, this is actually for what's called the Dream, a way to kind of build like a space station, the space station toolkit. And it even has this awesome station generator Mad Libs, I guess you could say. And so we'll go through this and use D10s to roll it up. And then we'll adjust just to keep kind of like within the constraints of the story that we're developing here. I think this will work really well. So station name 7, Vitalian's Ring is an semi-autonomous shipyard. We will say... Now, I would say that one of these options is a secret corporate research facility. But in fact, I really like this idea that it's a solitary space monastery. It's this place where there's like monks of the far future will go to achieve sort of oneness, a life of prayer and silence. And so they think that the monks on board all died from some sort of virus, and there's nothing of value there. And it is orbiting, we know that it's orbiting Resnick, and it was run by a core leader of, not a scheming Marine general, we'll say a reformed criminal outcast, a dynastic child hair, sadistic decadent, we'll say a reclusive intellectual. So it was an intellectual who said, and this was maybe a leading scientist in the field, and I knew this person was a leading scientist in the field, but they discovered something that made them say, no, I don't want to study anymore. I don't want to know anything else. I've found something, and I just want to live out my days in peace, and became this monk. And it was backed by, let's see, the Principality of Christian the 12th. So whatever that means, you know, some grant that was given to this guy for previous research that he did, and that's what funds the station. Maybe we'll find out something like that. It's currently undergoing a crisis, so we don't have to roll that up. The crisis can be that there was some sort of virus outbreak, and they tried to send people to salvage it, but they weren't heard from, and it's letting out this energy signature. Otherwise, everything is fine, and you can buy supplies and fuel as per usual, though at a hefty markup. No, we're not going to worry about that. Okay. So the space station structure then, an amalgamation, sure. So I think actually I'm not even going to roll. I'm going to say that it is a sphere with, we'll just say it's a sphere. Okay. And it has, I like this, a non-standard day and night cycle, so that it is always nighttime. And perhaps this monastic group believes that no, it's always daytime, and the group there believed that in order to conquer the darkness, we have to always be surrounded by light. And this probably led to people going crazy. If you ever seen that movie with Al Pacino where he goes to investigate something in like Barrow, Alaska, or 30 Days at Night. Roll 1d10 to determine how many noteworthy establishments the station has. Oh, this is kind of cool. 3. Okay. So it looks like there's just 3. Space station noteworthy locations. So we would say that this one is religious. And so we would roll a D100 here. And it has 3 modules. So we have 14 is a solarium. Let me look that up. Certainly like the word. It's a place for celery. Solarium. Oh, it's like a wine, an undercroft, a storeroom, usually in a castle. Okay, so it has some sort of cellar in the space station. It also has 19 chapter house Dune, and 54 a scriptorium. I like it. We should also say that it has some sort of place where they would all go and pray. Maybe an observatory. Yeah. So we'll say that this has 4. So I'm just sort of randomly drawing this out here. So this would be in a sphere shape, right? So we could say that there is one of these is a dock, and you would dock at the top of this thing, and then underneath would be a solarium. And then there is a scriptorium. And then there is a chapter house. And then we'll say in the middle is this observatory where they would always have it facing, rotating towards the light, and then it would be a dock. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I guess. That's fine. And this is right by the planet Resnick, which is a gas giant. And what else do we have here? The station itself was called the, what was it, Vivacious Yoshitaki? I think I made that up. Why am I not remembering where I found? Oh, yeah. Vitalian's ring. So I should have made it a ring. So we'll say Vitalian sphere. So maybe the scientist is Vitalian. Vitalian sphere. Okay. And so now I can sort of explore this. We could just say we could start by docking on it. However, I will say that as much as I like this layout here, I would prefer to have a more linear way of traveling through this. And so that way we can sort of make it a crawl. And am I looking in the wrong one here? I don't think I am. Maybe I am. That way I could still like attach these parts, but I can give it like a little bit more of hallways. Nope. Uh-huh. I really should have started from scratch, actually. I think I started with an idea and built backwards from there, but that's okay. I mean, I think the next time I play this, I would just start with the derelict ship mapping. Maybe an hour and 10 in. Just to kind of get an idea of it, maybe we could say that we board one of these ships and it's not quite the right one. Grab some D6. Yeah, I gotta do this just because it looks so damn fun. So this could be us like trying to locate the space station because we're in an unmarked vessel, an unidentified vessel, and so we're not able to get any nav support from the nearby people, and so we're kind of just going from ship to ship, seeing which one it is. That's a lot of the same, but that's okay. I'm going to switch one of these to 1 and one of these to 2. All right, so which one would be the dock? Are any of these the dock? Barracks, cargo hold, living quarters. Okay. It's okay. We'll just do it as it goes. All right. So for each of these now, we roll a D10. I guess all right, 0, 0. So this one right here, we would say 5, 0, 0 is a cargo hold. 5, 0, 0. And then the next one up is 3, 2. And then we have 4. Okay, I'm drawing this terribly. I'm drawing for camera, damn it. Gotta let you all see it. All right, so first one is 5, 0, 0. Next one is 3, 0, 2. Next one is 4, 6. Above that is 2. Why can I not draw straight lines today? Life me 2, 0, 2. And then right here is 1, 6, 5, 0, 5. Too much coffee, maybe. 5, 0, 5. And then 4, 0, 1. Okay, so we have this one right here, 500. We said that is a cargo hold. And then we had 302 is going to be a galley, which is booby trapped. So we'll have to do a test in there. 406 is a cryo chamber. Cryo chamber. 202 is the thrusters. 106 is computer. This is working out really well. 505 is another cargo hold. although it could have something different in it. And then 401 is medbay. Okay. Oh, it has a ship name generator. Roll once in each column. 8, 7, 6. So it would be the Tempest, Tyrant, Epsilon. Tyrant, Epsilon. And then for each of these, for instance, the first cargo hold, it says 1d10 shipping containers full of roll on random cargo table. And so we would roll on that. We could probably start there. So we dock, and my two Teamsters are, well, my Teamster and Marines are with me. And let's see. So we'll have Naleli, Frederick, and Karen Albright. Zula Booth will stay back on the ship. And I think Naleli is the Marine, yeah. And so, let's see. We probably all have spacesuits on right now. And I'm coming into the first room. They are very much, as you can see here, they're very at high alert, Naleli and Karen. And they said, I thought you said, Karen says, I thought you said this thing was some kind of monastery. This just looks like junk. And I go, of course it looks like junk. Do you think it's going to be a cathedral in outer space? No, this isn't Warhammer. And then Naleli says, let's just keep going. Wait. Everything here is worth investigation. And we would do a roll. So I have linguistics, mysticism, xenoesotericism, theology. Trying to think of like what I can roll to just look around, but this also might be a game where it's like you just look inside the cargo. So I say, we'll just open this and take a little peek before we go on. It looks like is the oxygen system still fully functional? Well, let me draw another one, and we'll say that the odds are even of this. So we're looking in top left. Is the life support system still on? Even. Yes. Okay. The life support system is still on. There's no reason to rush. And we're all in our environmental suits. What do I pay you for? And Karen says, you don't pay us. You haven't paid us yet. Says, I will. How do you think I have a ship? How do you think I have all that I have? Like, just keep going, man, says Naleli. So we open this up, 36, and inside is opium. And so I take a taste of it. I go, see? Plenty of earning opportunities around. And this is 1d10 containers full of this stuff. 2 containers full of opium. I go, why don't both of you help yourself? And Karen says, you've given me an entire brick of opium. And I go, of course, help yourself. Maybe save a little for me. I might need it as an anesthetic in some experiment. And Naleli says, how in the hell are we supposed to sell opium? Like, are you... We're already on an unlicensed ship. We're going into this derelict vessel without any clearance, and now you want to give me a kilogram of opium. No, thanks. And Karen says, well, if you don't want it, I'll take your share. No problem. And so Karen picks up 2 nice bricks of opium, and I have a nice smile on my face. We move into the next room, which is the galley, which I believe is mostly empty, and it is booby trapped. And so if I wanted to check for, let's see, instinct might be the right choice here, right? Instinct. Let's see, what would an instinct roll be? I'm now looking at the you know what I mean. I'm looking at the GM screen here. So instinct. 0 to 30 is an average bonus. 31 to 60 is crafty, and 61 is highly intelligent. So instinct 25, not super crafty. Instinct Karen Albright is 25. What is my instinct? Oh, I don't even have instinct. Do I not have instinct? I guess my stats are different than the stats of the contractors. Is that right? Or am I just like not looking in the right place? Strength, speed, intellect, combat, body, sanity. So I guess those are like abridged. Yeah, I guess they're abridged stats. Combat, instinct, and loyalty. I'm curious as to how the loyalty stat works. I'm going to take a look at that. All right, let's take a slight detour here and just take a look at contractors. So maybe this can help us determine really quick. I think it'd be good to look up some motivations here for them. So let's do Naleli first. Naleli Frederick. And Naleli is a Marine, and 75, family member held hostage, needs a ransom. So Naleli is mad that that she even has to be here, but is nonetheless really needs that money. And then 34, using you or your ship to smuggle contraband. Oh, that's interesting. So Karen is very happy to have that opium, and also has some contraband on the ship, which I believe I can add. There is, or maybe it's like a repair. Yeah, hidden, highly illegal contraband. Okay. And it's kind of cool. Like the loyalty check is a check you can do whenever you have them do something that might. We're going to actually put loyalty up to 99 for Zula because it's an android, and I think that Zula's in a android who is developed by me as with a component of my consciousness. But anytime that there'd be something that would endanger the contractor, they're going to roll loyalty to be like, am I more loyal to this mission or myself? So this loyalty is not good, but the contractors who survive a job and are paid in full increase their loyalty by 1, and increases of 1d5 or 10 should be reserved for extreme circumstances like saving the contractor's life. Contractors are paid a monthly salary. Additionally, they usually demand hazard pay anytime they engage in a life-threatening danger. They have a combat stat. That's how good they are in a fight. Instinct is a catch-all stat for fear, sanity, body, speed, intellect, everything else. Max wounds. Contractors don't track their health per wound. Instead, any damage they take counts as a wound. If they take wounds equal to their maximum wounds, they die. Okay. So, 0 wounds. Wow. So Karen is very fragile for a Marine. And also just considering right now from a stat standpoint, it's probably been 2 years since I played through like core Mothership. What is this a player survival guide? Yeah, so I'm trying to think in terms of skills here, what would be the best stat to use here to just intellect, recalling your training, thinking through difficult problems, inventing or fixing things. Okay. Until I can figure out something better, let's just say that in terms of the booby trap, we'll use Naleli here. Actually, we'll use my guy for intellect, and we'll roll that. Failed. So I gained a stress. And so I'm at 3 stress. And when there is a failure, that would only be for a crit failure. And so there is a booby trap. And we will say, let's see here. How will I determine who is affected by this? We'll do a quick 1d3. And I'll just number my characters. Just going to borrow a 1d3 from my Pendragon. Always on hand, as I am deeply engaged in my Pendragon campaign. And we'll just say I will be 1. We'll do Karen. I keep forgetting. Is Karen Teamster? Okay. Do Karen will be 2, and Naleli will be 3. Okay, so this affects me. I step into the booby trap, and so I'm going to do a body save. And I failed, so I gain another stress. And on top of that, I think that takes some damage from me. And we'll do a 1d3 for that. All right, so some low-level trap that we can certainly roll up here because it might give us some insight into what sort of ship that we're dealing with here. Warden's Operation Manual, I think, has, a theme sort of thing on the inside here. Let's see if we can get any clues from that. So that's a 1d100. Oh, I think there's a way to just, like, roll die. Yeah. Oh, you know what, though? Am I supposed to roll a save? But is there really any difference here? No, because I clicked on the thing. Yeah, that was a body save, 25 failure. And so if I wanted, I can roll a D100 right on here. Why not? And roll a 2. The theme here is death, ancient, arisen. Lord. Okay. What sort of horrors? Maybe this would be a better one. Horrors. Let's do a 1d99. 43. Reneging on a deal. Okay. 99. Gruesomely displayed corpses. Okay, this really wants me to die. I can see that. I'm not 88. Doppelganger. Let's just keep going because I love to torture myself. 16. Only harmed by fire. One more. Come on. Give me a challenge here. 93. Parental entity comes looking for answers. Okay. So we have, what was the first one? Oh, this actually, okay, 2. No, that wouldn't be that. That would be 43. So the first one was reneging on a deal, and then it was gruesomely displayed corpses, and then 88 was doppelganger, and then 16 was only harmed by fire, and 93 is parental entity comes looking for answers. Got it. Okay, here's what we'll do. So this is some sort of trap that represents reneging on a deal, and then gruesomely displayed corpses, and 88 doppelganger. Okay. So what we have is right when we walk into the room, it is a trap of a large spider web. And it is just the sort of tension of walking into the web. I didn't see it. It was so like thin that it alerted this very large spider. And let's just say that there is somebody wound up in the web. Maybe somebody was put to death gruesomely by this spider. Like not by the spider, like because this person didn't pay up, they were thrown into this cargo hold with this spider. The spider then consumed them, wrapped them up, and this spider has this gruesomely displayed corpse of this person who had sucked the life out of them, not only killing them, but actually it almost tends to take on the face of the person that it kills. This is not a regular spider, right? It's this huge spider that looks like this man, but it's not a perfect representation. It's like a grotesque sort of approximation, almost like a Dali trying to map a face or something. So obviously this is a spider. It can only be harmed by fire. And then 93 was parental entity comes looking for answers. And so maybe this spider is some sort of weird torture thing for whoever abandoned this craft, right? They would keep this spider in here, but this spider actually thinks that it's looking for its mother. And so right then I walk into this web and I see this thing wake up from the other side of the room where it's feeding on all of these bound up corpses of whoever was in the ship. And it has this humanoid face and it looks and it says, "Mama, mama," like that. And so I think right away, we're going to have to do some sort of fear. Everyone is going to do a fear save, because I don't think it's a sanity save. I think that it's not like we can't intellectually integrate what we're seeing. We got it. It's a huge, horrible spider, but it's fear. So we'll do a fear check. Critical success. And so let me just mark that just so I remember that I had a crit, because that might have positive implications for the others. And then we would roll the instinct for both of them. For Naleli. No? Dice roller. Instinct. Success! Wow! Okay. Oh, no. Another success. And then Karen would also roll this. Failure. Okay, so Karen fails. And I kind of, that sort of fits. Like, Karen is an opportunist, has bags of opium and freaks and says, oh, what the hell is that, right? And so you fail that fear check. Critical fails on stat checks or saves, watching other crew members die. I'm not sure. Let me just take a quick look on how I manage this now. Yeah, so I think it would only be a crit fail that we would have Karen do a panic check. However, Karen's a contractor and so does not have stress. And so it might be a little bit different in terms of contractors. On a success, they help you out. On a failure, they help themselves. Each contractor starts with a loyalty save of 2d10 plus 10. Roll after they're hired. Okay. So, that's loyalty. So we can just say that he's going to run right now. I think that's probably yeah, instinct check for Karen to see if Karen runs out of the room. Failed. Okay. So Karen tries to run out of the room, and without even breaking a spidery sweat, this spider just leaps and pounces right on Karen, who is brought down to the ground. Is Karen killed? We're going to say that, well, let's actually do this in a positive form. Bad odds is Karen, does Karen survive this? No. Okay, so Karen is killed. Maximum wounds, opium flying all over the place. And, of course, because I am pretty messed up and because Naleli is a professional, we are able to engage in combat. And so I think that's what we would do now. And so during a violent confrontation, time is split into roughly 10-second intervals called rounds. The word describes a situation likely going to happen. So we will use this. I mean, that's a little bit much for like an initial encounter in a game, but I think probably this will be the last thing we do here. And so then let me make just a little bit of a combat zone here. Use my map book. Okay, so I think I just did something and didn't unpause it. So I guess to be completely fair, I need to do that all again, which sucks because it was a really, really good outcome. Okay, so we will restore this shot here to Naleli. All right, so Naleli has a long-range SMG, great weapon, and Naleli is going to go behind light cover here, which has an AP of 10, meaning that if an attack is more than 10, it will break the cover. I just threw some dice out for some cover here. And so using the combat, Naleli is then going to fire a shot because this is long range. And the way that we would determine this is adjacent range means it's less than 3 feet or 1 meter and that it can touch you. Close range is it can get to you, 5 to 10 meters, 15 to 30 feet. Long range, you can shoot it. I would say that we're right between close and long range here. So what I think I'll do is I'll attack, but because we're at that place, I'll do advantage. And I failed. Great. Even with advantage. Awesome. So I fire and miss with Naleli. And I don't think the spider has any ranged attacks, but is going to go ahead and throw this body across the room. And let's see. Now, this would be really nice to use like this virtual tabletop. That would be really cool right here because it probably has some different enemies that we can use. But I was going to I can't find the supplement right now that had these sort of like basic enemies that we could just like quickly roll up some stats here. And I'm looking at the GM screen. Contractors, pay, failure, panic, leads, armor, covered, damage, death, tactical, range, survival, medical, wounds. Okay. Yeah, let me find in like just a generic enemy here. Okay, so yeah, this is like the problem with having a bestiary that is collectively made by a bunch of artists is that everything in here is awesome, but nothing in here is just like a basic enemy. So we have like an algorithm, angels, body politic, belladonnas, the brown streams, sea levels, Dorians, demons. There's nothing in here that's just like spider. And then 5 quick horrors. This is probably the best one. Obviously, we would have to use something with, non-humanoid, but I would say a brute, exceptionally large creature. Brutes are difficult to confront head-on due to their ability to withstand and deal massive amounts of damage. So a brute has combat of 65 and a 4d10 damage. Okay, that's fine. So we'll have the brute is going to with a combat of 65. I'm trying to see if there's anywhere here where I can like add a damage. Oh yeah, that's me. Scalpel or unarmed. Other. Nope. So we'll just have to do a 65 D100 roll. Yeah, that's a nice wallop. So once again, we'll do, well, I guess we'll just do a D6. Less than 3 is me. More than 3 is Naleli. 3. I guess 3 or less is me. So this brute throws Karen at me, and since it's 4d10 damage, go ahead. This is 27 damage. So that would definitely bring me to 1 wound, and I believe when I'm wounded now, see, it's all coming back to me. I think I would get an injury, a critical injury. Whenever you roll doubles, no. Panic. Oh, yeah, I wasn't even checking for doubles. I think, though, okay, whenever a character takes damage, reduce health by that amount. If health is reduced to 0, gain a wound, and roll on the wounds table on page 29. I think there might be a wounds roller here. Yep. So that was blunt force or gore and massive. That wasn't like an explosion. I'm winded. Oh, that's great. Throw a whole body at me at like 47 miles an hour, and I'm just like, oh man, that knocked the wind out of me. And then we would restore this back to its full, and then carry over damage of 7. All right, so I'm pretty winded. I would say I lose my turn, and it would go back to Naleli, who is really our only hope. And of course, Naleli is going to fire again. Nice, a success. And the damage for that is 5. Terrible roll. And let's see how that did against this enormous creature. I'm sure that their HP is not too much more than 5. If I can find the one book that I am... Where did I... Oh, Lord. All right, so Brute has 3 wounds with 40 HP each, so down to 35. Very good. And so now the Brute is going to attack. Once again, it will be on me. And the Brute has a combat of 65. So we will do D100. Roll. Hey, missed. A swing and a miss. So it comes up, comes towards me, and I'm still catching my breath, but not enough to just not barrel roll out of the way, because I'm that kind of guy. And then I'm going to come back around and ready myself with my scalpel. And oh yeah, now it's my turn, and this is going to be my heroic moment here, because do I really only have a scalpel? My lord, I have no other weapon. Maybe I can just add a weapon. Oh yeah, actually I forgot to say this. I have a flamethrower. So let me, silly me, that totally slipped my mind. And as we know from that oracle, it can only be killed with flame. And so I say, eat flamethrower, jerk. I rolled with advantage and I failed. So I'm just blowing a bunch of flame everywhere, except I'm literally in a tiny room with an enormous spider, and I suck so bad that I missed with a flamethrower. Nolelli is just like, oh god. You know what? I actually, to be honest, I got to roll Nolelli's loyalty here just to be fair and maintain it all credibility. And so that's weird that I can't just like roll from this menu. Loyalty, there we go. Critical failure. So Nolelli looks at me, miss with a flamethrower, and runs so fast that they just knock this door down and maybe get back on the ship. And then this guy turns towards me. And it's weird, that like humanoid face, I swear it's smiling. And now there's going to be another, again, 65 or under here for this dude to connect. 89, another miss. And I do another barrel roll. And now I'm behind this amazing full cover, which will require an AP 15 to get through. And I let it rip again. Flame throw, boom. Hit them. Oh no, that was damage. Crap. Well, hold on a second though, because I let it rip. Fail. So I shoot it up into the air. And now this brute closes the distance on me, comes back, and sort of rears up and is ready to just absolutely clobber me. And let's just, beautiful. Okay, so 43, and it's now going to do damage, which is 4d10. Hits me for 32, which obliterates me. I have 2 wounds. Oh, I should do a death save. I don't even think I get that because I'm so below 0, but let's just see. Tap to reveal. Oh, wow. I got a double. I can't believe this. So I wake up in 14 minutes. Okay. So first of all, this thing knocked the wind out of me, and then it pierced my body with 2 huge claws, and I just passed out and went, oh, I've got the vapor. And so it just kind of looks around and is like, oh my god. And so it just decides, look, I'm going to do this guy a favor. I'm just going to put him out of his misery. 39 damage, 4d10, and this should put me, wow, just barely. And it's only because my HP was reduced by a 5 max. And so that is my fate, folks. I am spun up in the corner. That's me in the corner, losing my religion. This will look like me because it's going to suck my life force essence. Let me know what you thought about this. Let me know if you'd like to see me solo Mothership again. If any of you have soloed Mothership, things I missed, things I could do better. Truly, I just pulled this out and started soloing, so I'm certain that this could have been done a lot better, but I certainly learned a lot, and we'll have a better idea of it next time that I try to solo it. And I had a hell of a good time, friends, so be well. Whew. Man, I got destroyed. Wow. Ripped